This is the video for the cut rod game. Here in the blue note box it says, the goal is to minimize the cost of cutting bars out of rods. The bars are to be cut from 6 rods. You are given the length and quantity of the bars and also the rod lengths. Well, down here under bars we see there's the length of the bars to be made, and here's the quantity that needs to be made, and down below here are the rod lengths. All 6 of them are 500 long. Each bar has a value of 1,000 and has a length of 500. It has a value of 2 for each unit of length. Shorter rods have a smaller value per unit of length because there are fewer cutting possibilities. That is, out of a short rod, there's not that many possibilities for cutting the bars. It says, for example, if 50% of the rod is left, its value is only 31% of the original value. And it says there are 100 different games, and here we see in the orange box here, you enter from 0 to 99. It says to click next. A solution is found when all the bar quantities are equal to the row sums and no rod usage exceeds the 500. Well, for row sums, blue highlighted means too few, therefore it's unsolved. Red highlighted means too many, unsolved. In other words, you either didn't make enough of it or you made too much of it. The rod usage, blue highlighted, means not all used. Well, you don't necessarily have to use all the rod. It's still solved without using it all. And red highlighted means overused. Well, then it's unsolved. You can't cut more out of a rod than its length. And it says you can toggle between your work solution and the program solution by clicking on the blue box. Well, here's the blue box, but first we go down here again and we see the orange boxes now are all 0. We're now going to click to see the program solution. Here it shows the program solution. Down here it shows the first row now does add up to 10, second row to 4, and so forth. And down below here it shows that the usage for the first rod is 500, second one 500, and then only 181. So this is a solved solution, and it's the minimum amount of waste. So it has a cost of only $25.35. Also says you can toggle between games and files by clicking on the brown box. With files, you get to make the cut rod game. Alright, I'm going to click on that brown box. With files, you enter the bar lengths, bar quantities, and rod lengths. There can be up to 12 bars and 12 rods. Well, here we see I put in an example here, and I only put in 3 different rod lengths, or bars that I want to make. And I put in, three different rods of different lengths. Now we're going to click next. Enter the bars from the top down. Notice I did that. Started at the top, went down. Enter the rods from the left to the right. Yep, I did. Here's the rods I entered. They will be green highlighted, and you see the green highlighted there and down here. You can enter a name for the file. Your file data will be saved in the browser's local storage area. The file's data is read from the browser's local storage area when you enter the file number 0 to 19, and here's where you enter the file number. So the browser will save the information so that you can come back to your game later and continue to work with it. And here's where you can put the name in. Well, that's the cut rod game. Now we're going to go to the program for the cut rod game by clicking on Program in the red stripe. Here on the left you see instructions for the cut rod game, and this is the main program itself, the beginning of it. Over here on the right we see the blue boxes. The first one, execute the application, will now take us back to where we just were. Save the application, create a new application, create a new subprogram, and down here we see the name of the program itself, and then it has 3 subprograms. The rest of these blue boxes are used for copying instructions from within a program or to another application. Below down here are brown boxes that are the tools to be used when programming in this P code. You can list the values in the page text, name the different items, make comments, captions, and display all kinds of information about this P code. And below that, there's information on YouTube videos about building an app, creating it, saving it, tabs, all the way to making an HTML file out of your P code app. Below that, there is an app in P code that shows examples of the actions used in P code. And over here you see, and this instructions for the main program here, a column labeled actions. These are P code actions that can be taken. Then below that there's a list of HTML5 P code YouTube videos about programming in this P code. And here they're listed about instructions and values and green lines, which has to do with copying. Now I'm going to go back and execute the application. On the bottom down here it says Start App, and it says A to T. When we were over there in the programming part, you were able to save the program the way you want it to be. That is, you could have made changes to the program and then saved it to one of these letters. Then come here and then run your application by clicking on one of these letters, the one you saved it under. Then below that is a list of HTML5 P code apps. And here's the list. Well, it's actually bigger than this. You can't see them all. More get made all the time. Alright, this is the end of the cut rod video.